What's going on, guys? This is David again from DW Fitness. Thank you again for tuning in for another episode this week. Today I'm going to be sharing about the Sumo Deadlift. Now I'm sharing this movement because I want to teach you guys how to build strength, how to gain muscle, and certain movements that have helped me get there. So I'm introducing this movement today, the Sumo Deadlift. I have utilized this movement for a long time now. I used to do conventional deadlifts, but now I use the Sumo Deadlift because it's easier on the lower back for myself, allows for optimal recovery in between squats, and I find that it has allowed me to progress in weight a lot. So I personally like this variation, and so I'm going to teach you guys it today, just some very simple tips, and hopefully it's beneficial to all of you. I actually included also just a couple accessory and tip exercises at the end. So I really hope it's helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get off to the gym again. What's good, guys? David Wang checking in today. Today I'm going to be covering the Sumo Deadlift for you guys. I do this on my pull days, separate from my lower body days because it's so intensive. Now, the Sumo Deadlift is one of my favorite movements, and I just want to go over how you can perform this properly. So the first thing I would suggest is getting your shins as close to perpendicular as possible and having your head in slightly up position or neutral position as I have here. Now, this is just going to help you pull with a tighter positioning, and the shins perpendicular thing is just something to work on. So I recommend maintaining a neutral spine position, so you just keep your spine in a healthy position. A lot of people will overextend too much or really extend the cervical spine, their upper neck, and this can lead to issues over time. So I just recommend you try to keep a neutral position. So the first thing I want to say also is to systemize your setup, just like the low bar, squat, and other movements. Using the marks on the bar is extremely helpful to keep things consistent. Now, when you're actually performing the movement itself, really focus on spreading the floor. Think of the sides of your feet as blades that you're really pushing out and really spreading the floor. Before you pull, aim to take a deep breath in and brace your core to protect your spine and really engage that core because it's going to help protect you throughout the entire movement. Now, one thing I also like to do is to raise my arms in front of me before each set, which can really help to set a neutral position because a lot of people just go straight down in a hunched position, but I like to really focus on setting myself and really just hinging back and from my hips and getting in a great position to pull. Another thing is this helps you really think of the arms as levers to keep them straight, because a lot of people will pull with that bicep, and when you have a reverse grip like I'm showing you, if you pull with that bicep, you can tear your biceps. So it's really important to keep those arms as straight as possible. Here I'm just showing how I use chalk for the deadlift when it gets heavy. It's an extremely useful tool to just strengthen your deadlift. Before I go for 5 plates and above, and I really just focus on getting pumped and visualizing success, because in lifting in general, if you want to improve, you need to be focused. So from here I just set, I take a deep breath, I brace, and I tighten the lats to explode. Now, this is something that just takes time to develop. Form is something we're always working on, and I just want to show you guys how you can improve your deadlift in some ways. So if you struggle with bracing and creating tightness in your back, this exercise I'm showing here is a great exercise to mimic creating the lat tightness prior to your deadlifts, because you're really focusing on contracting the lats and pulling the rope towards you, which is what you want to do with the barbell. Really pull that barbell right at your shins to create that tightness and create a good foundation for the deadlift. And just focus on squeezing the weight here. I like to do this before my sets in the deadlifts to really activate the lats, and I focus on hinging back and just keeping the core tight throughout the entire movement. This is something that will actually help prepare your body for deadlifts. Just really activating that muscle prior to your big compound lifts can be really useful. I recommend about 3 sets of 8 to 12 prior to your deadlifts, just at a light weight to create tension. Now here, I'm showing a movement that I often use as an accessory called the Overhand Barbell Row. Now, if you have a weak back, this is a great way to help strengthen those muscles actively to create a stronger deadlift. I suggest pulling with not to pull just with your arms and biceps, but pull in a curved motion to really engage the lats. Thank you so much guys for watching this simple video about the deadlift, and I hope it helps you all.